Bob. Hello. It's that guy who does those videos. Very occasionally. Oh, man. Geez. I love balls. Did you know that as of maybe 200 years ago, everyone thought that the earth was flat? Ah, that's actually a joke. I tricked you. It's a pop cultural myth. People have thought that the earth was a sphere, more specifically an oblate spheroid, for hundreds if not thousands of years, if you accept Ptolemy's writing as evidence of that speculation. For, at the very least, hundreds of years now, it's been pretty much widely accepted that the earth is a globe, which means that the modern flat earth movements that exist aren't contiguous with any past movement. These people aren't regressives who want to go back to a certain set of beliefs. These people are progressives. They believe in science and reason and evidence. They want understanding of the earth to move forwards off of the edge of a cliff, which theoretically exists now. The earth might have an edge. That's exciting. And today, I wanted to look at some of these people's reasons for their beliefs, their evidence, and I wanted to see what we, as independent thinkers, can make of their findings. See you in hell, you little lame ball. Now. Oh, fuck. Oh, geez. Oh, Jesus. Chapter 1. How Flat Earth Came Back from the Edge. So, I'm not kidding about flat eartherism being recent. There are numerous flat earth societies that have been around for, like, 200 years, but usually they reach just a couple of people now, just keeping the lights on, and even then, they were seen as weirdos by most people. Then, on Facebook in the early years, there were people who were, like, opening joke pages, pretending to be a flat earth society, and it was just people having fun, making silly sort of fake memes, and it is, let's all admit, very funny to call someone a globy head. But then, I don't know, society utterly fucking collapsed when I wasn't looking or something, because now, in addition to some people believing that the free market is real and a good idea, some people believe the much less harmful and ridiculous fairy tale that the earth is flat. As of 2015, Flat Earth membership has grown massively, and now there's even a full Flat Earth convention with people flying in from all around the globe to take part and pool their collective knowledge. Even some celebrities have voiced support for the movement, like Logan Paul, who's universally known for making well-thought-out decisions, and famous rapper Bob. Little Robbie currently has a GoFundMe asking for $1 million to send up drones and weather balloons and satellites and rockets and stuff, and I kind of admire his commitment to science. He's really willing to put other people's money where his mouth is and find out the shape of the earth. But what caused Bob to think the earth was flat in the first place? Let's find out and dive into the first documentary I saw while I was researching Flat Earth, the true earth. Like everyone else, you were born into bondage, born into a prison for your mind. Buckle your seatbelt, Dorothy, because Kansas is going bye-bye. Take the red pill like in The Matrix. The Matrix is a good movie. Oh God, I've got to make that Night in the Woods video. Our daily observations of the earth are consistent with a flat and stationary surface. Most, if not all, ancient civilizations knew that the earth was flat. Okay, that's an interesting start. Chapter 2. That's not how knowledge works. Okay, so philosophers and linguists and discoursists and those ivory tower Marxists have heard so much about argue incessantly on the concepts of knowledge and truth. They re all wrong, and I am right. And here's how it works. People don't simply know things. People believe something to be true, or to put it another way, they think they know something. What odd actually means here is that most ancient civilizations, or at least some of them, depending on how far back you go, thought they knew the earth was flat. And he's ascribing knowledge to them so that they definitely knew this in order to make it seem more credible that that thing is true. The people of today would say that ancient cultures were ignorant and unaware, yet they accomplished great feats that we still can't accomplish to this day. The ancient Egyptians built the pyramids, so how could they be wrong about unrelated issues? The ancient Egyptians knew that pharaohs were living incarnations of a humanoid god with a crocodile's head named Sobek, who was the lord of semen and helped the sun move through the sky, presumably by blasting it with sperm. The ancient Egyptians knew this thousands of years ago, and yet every year we deny the sperm lord his offerings of mummified crocodiles. And once more, we threaten to awaken his anger. Those of you who think this technical difficulty was planned, technical difficulty, I forgot about this part. This video in particular is great because, okay, spoilers. There aren't that many pro-flat Earth arguments. There's a couple of people who keep trying to come up with new ones, but really they're like 5 main ones, and then everyone keeps kind of ripping them off and rewarding them and coming up with slightly different ways of saying the same thing over and over again. And this documentary goes one step further, and rather than remaking those arguments for an 18th millionth time, it actually just borrows clips from videos people have already made. It's great. This is live on the air. Okay. I'm gonna zoom in on the Earth in Photoshop. Image adjust. Levels, and I'm gonna bring the levels up. Oh, whoa. What is that? Why is there a square box around the Earth allegedly taken from the scientists on the moon in Apollo 17? And people wonder why I don't trust NASA. That's why I don't trust NASA. I mean, they always out there saying, "Oh, wait a second, mate. Wait. Hold on a second. Let me get me mouse. Let's quickly create a new image. Make it 3000 by 3000 pixels, 72 pixels per inch. Let's do a deep fake. Let's fake our own pale blue dot. That's not a dot. You gotta hold shift to make it perfectly circular. Don't make that mistake next time, globalists. Oh, look, that's some shine. That's an ocean. Oh, that's the land we all live on. That's exactly what Ptolemy's map looks like. So if we were to do this adjustment right here with the image levels, turn it all the way up, you will see that there's nothing goes up. Nothing goes up at all. Whoa, look. If only they'd properly cut the Earth out, NASA could have gotten away with it if it weren't for those meddling Photoshop users. Let's save it as a JPEG, and let's make it medium compression. So this is like an average amount of JPEG compression for an image on the internet. Now let's quickly open up our Untitled one. JPEG in Photoshop ourselves. Now let's turn the levels up. Oh me God. Oh me God. It's a fake Earth picture that wasn't cut out properly. It's JPEG compression. You fucking idiot. Okay, I'm already incredibly bored of this documentary. It's the same music clip playing over and over for 30 minutes, and it's jarring having all these other voices just kind of coming. It's just not very well made. And Ivy decided to just move on to other people's videos, which usually make the same points anyway. And we might even run into one of the videos that they stole. But only thing I do want to bring up is a meme that I saw posted here first, and I've seen it around since then, towards the end of the documentary. And when I was watching the first time, I had to pause and just kind of laugh at it. It's this picture here. It's so fascinating. It's so direct. And it doesn't get what it's really saying. Like, just maybe done to brag too triumphantly about how you don't read books. Chapter 3, He Who Smelts It. Anyway, one of the main folks credited with getting the ball rolling in flat earth, just a little joke from me to you, is Mark Sargent and his video series entitled Flat Earth Clues. I've now heard about 2 or 3 dozen people say that this series is what really got them into the whole thing and taking it seriously. Are we inside a Truman Show enclosed world thousands of miles wide? It's just like in the Truman Show. Oh God. No, no, be nice, be nice. Growing up on South Whidbey Island, Washington, Mark Sargent started his career playing computer games professionally in Boulder, Colorado. Oh great, a fellow gamer. He must be reasonable. Early in 2015, he released a series of YouTube videos titled Flat Earth Clues, which delves into the possibility of our human civilization actually being inside a Truman Show-like enclosed. You already said Truman Show earlier in the description. Like, at least reference a different movie. In other words, this is the video series that everyone else is cribbing from, so we should probably check it out, shouldn't we? 2 hours. I always wanted to do this joke, and this actually took me 2 hours. Well, that was a waste of time. Okay, I've now watched Mark's entire 14-part plus extras series about how the Earth is flat, which took a couple of hours, and what really jumps out at me is how shockingly boring and unconvincing it is. Like you think this is the original one, this is the one that got him, and it's a slideshow with, like, a kind of rambling, and he talks, like he's really convinced. He knows the truth, and I assume people believe this because they well, he sounds really into it, he must be onto something, but it's like really, really unconvincing. In order to summarize the point in any one of those videos that they make, you would have to edit around and cut across in time so much to kind of formulate the actual point so much it would feel deceptive, like I'm sort of pulling some kind of trick by trying to get to the point he's making in a simpler way, and the evidence that he refers to is so thin on the ground that it doesn't even meet any burden of proof for it to be something that it would need to debunk anywhere. Part 7, for example, long haul, is the one that really sticks out to me. It takes him 10 minutes to effectively say, I looked up some flights, and I think they show the Earth is flat. That's all he had to say, but it takes 10 minutes. I promised myself when I was researching something like flat Earth that I would try and find the strongest possible versions of any argument that I responded to or debunked, because this is well. Bigger than ever, full of all code. That's a line. I you to sell that a liar, and that a bill to do. That's a sincere view to do. Says a view, those you view. I review that. All, we lose out. Where, why, real, why, when, where, the boy, going, why, iron, when I, the way, the real way, Well, you do that. Well, when we do, I I am you there. Why do like, watch them, please, if you can stand it. It's just not very well put together, and that's just a bit weird to me because they re-supposed to be the best ones. Take the long-haul flight one I mentioned already. 2 months after that came out, someone who's clearly seen that one has already honed the point that Sargent was trying to make down into one that's actually a good video, and that video has like 6 times more views. We'll get to that video in a second, but first, if the globe model is wrong, what's the alternative? I think it's time we looked at what a flat Earth map actually looks like. Chapter 4, Discworld, but not the fun one. This is a poster I had made of Gleason, New Standard Map of the World. It was made in the late 1800s, and it shows what purports to be what the Earth actually looks like when it's flat. Now, this isn't the exact map that flat earthers use. What they use is a version of this that's projected the same way. There were lots of different ways you can project planet Earth. The Gleason map and other supposedly slightly more accurate and realistic flat Earth maps aren't actually just made up from something. They rebased on a type of map projection that already existed, known as azimuthal equidistant projection, not named for its creator, Philip Azimuth, because I just made that guy up and that projection method isn't completely useless. It's not just a silly picture. It's good for being able to tell what angle and distance you are from the North Pole. This is really accurate to where you are in relation to the North Pole, especially compared to other projections where the North Pole is, like the wrong size or in the wrong place, because otherwise you wouldn't be able to see it properly because flat maps are just inherently always a bit wrong. It also, as you can see, looks pretty nice. In fact, a stylized version of this projection is used as the logo for the UN because they re-in on it, obviously. Most notable things about this map: the North Pole is now directly in the center of the Earth, and instead of there being a South Pole anywhere, it's now encircling the entire Earth in aged wall of ice. Now we know what you're rethinking. Does this map hold any water? And the answer is, that's what the ice is for. By the way, does that mean global warming is now like way, way worse? Because, like, if the ice were melted, all the water would flow out and we'd all die of no water beatus. I mean, on globe Earth, we'd all just drown and then boil instead. Yay. Another feature of this map is that what used to be the southern hemisphere is now much further away from itself, as it were. Australia is now much further away from Africa or South America. And also, everything is increasingly distorted the further out you get. Australia is now much, much wider than it used to be, even though people have actually measured Australia, and it's about as long as it is wide. But clearly, Sobek got to those guys, too. How does this affect travel? Because obviously, now that all the shapes and distances are very different, especially in the southern hemisphere, surely flight plans would be affected by this. They'd have to account for the non-curvature of the Earth and everything being in a different place. Well, luckily, this is something Mark Sargent and the clever disc boys at the Flat Earth Society say actually makes more sense on a flat Earth. Chapter 5: How do airlines work? Here's a video entitled "The Earth is Flat." The planes help to prove the plane. to prove the plainly to the It's got over 900,000 views. This is the video that I would say is something of an improvement on the arguments that Mark Sargent makes in his video entitled Long Haul. The arguments are still wrong, but they remade better. So points for that, plus that pun. I mean, oh boy. He looks up trips from Sydney, Australia, to Santiago, Chile, and notes that getting there requires multiple stops at other airports that are relatively out of the way and inefficient on the globe model, but on the flat Earth model, they form an almost straight line. You have to actually get up into the northern hemisphere and then come back down, so that doesn't make any sense. So I mapped it on the flat Earth map. And who? This is a huge thing for flat earthers because unlike all the stuff they have to just ignore or prove is a big lie that didn't happen, this is something which supposedly proves that the flat Earth model is true. Mark Sargent says this is the thing you should start with if you were trying to explain the whole thing to someone. If you were looking to show someone how to view the flat Earth from a practical point of view, this is the example you would use. Mark, you could have started with that and not waited until part 7, like an hour in. Please hire an editor. There are so many counterpoints to this. I don't know where to start, really. I suppose we should start with London City Airport. It makes far more business sense for airlines to offer shorter connecting flights that can be used as part of a wider trip than one direct flight to the one place that one group of people might happen to go. You know airports aren't magic. Like, it takes a certain amount of time for a plane to take off and land on a runway, and there's only so many runways. You think London City Airport, with its minuscule, piddly little piss runway, has the time to furnish flights to Chile. What air you talking about, mate? That said, that doesn't mean that long-distance flights like this never happen. There's actually a direct flight from Sydney to Santiago, Qantas 27. It goes nonstop and takes way less time than the non-direct routes. On a flat Earth map, 27 would take far longer than the supposedly direct paths, and also the distance would be so much longer that the plane would run out of fuel and crash in the ocean. How does this guy deal with the existence of this flight, or a flight with just one connection that doesn't go the direct route on a flat Earth map? Well, they actually do pop up on his flight tracker. That's the first clue I found to these flights existing. But I don't think this flight ever takes off. Oh, it's available only Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday also. Kind of pinch you out and make you do something different. He actually says that they re not real. I don't think either one of these two flights are real. They re just kind of there too. Keep gooeyes like me from figuring this shit out. He sees through Qantas' dastardly trick to sell tickets to a plane that's real. You can watch footage of the flight. Look, why would Qantas do all of this just to make people think that the Earth was a globe? What do they get from that? Like, what's the? I don't understand. The Gayatri's to do Johannesburg to Perth. 2. And once again, we only have one non-stop. Almost as if there's reasons why you wouldn't have that many flights going that one direct flight. Almost. Oh, these two in black. This is the non-stop that they have to Perth. But the reason I put these in black is because I don't think they exist either. Oh no, of course not. I mean, I've actually met someone who's been on that flight. But whatever, maybe they re-in on it too. Maybe I'm in on it too. Hail Sobek. We need to keep everyone thinking the Earth is a globe. That way we can. Hang on 1 second. Yeah, why are we doing this again? Oh, I thought it would be funny. When he maps those supposed more direct trips he found onto the flat Earth, and by maps, I mean draws shit squiggly lines that in no way match up with the flight plans. One of them doesn't make sense on the flat Earth either. It goes all the way out of the way to Sydney before it doubles back and heads to Perth. Oh, these are all the flights to Sydney. So it still looks like a pretty long shot to Sydney. But who knows? Maybe this map isn't even correct. Who knows? I don't know. Mom, maybe. Maybe this map of the flat Earth isn't correct. Maybe it's not. Maybe. Chapter 6. Where's the curve? Oh, there it is. Another thing flat earthers dispute is the curvature of the Earth. I mean, if it's a flat, it can't be curved, can it? Well, I guess it could be slightly convex, but they done to bring that up for some reason. The main way they do this consists of filming horizons or finding footage of horizons and saying, well, I don't see a curve, which you can't see the curvature that close to the ground. Perspective does to work that way, and then they go on to assert that all footage that does show a curvature from high up is faked, either on purpose by, like, movie studios working for NASA, or accidentally through flaws in camera equipment. Some types of wide-angle camera lenses distort perspective, and almost all small action cameras like GoPros have very wide-angle lenses to film as much as possible. The assertion flatties then make is, well, the appearance of a curvature is therefore the result of looking at the flat horizon with these lenses, and if you correct the footage, the Earth is clearly actually flat, like in this video by the channel called Flat Earth, although apparently its original name was the Mr. King Tuts. Someone rebranded. Where's the curvature of the Earth? None of you can debunk this video. Anyone with half a brain can see how they use deceptive wide-angle fisheye lenses to deceive you. You can't use the word deceive twice in a sentence. that just dozed to scan. Oh, and in keeping with flat earthers just copying each other all the time, this video is literally just taken from another channel. Now, in my opinion, this is the actual closest that flat earthers have ever got to actually being right about, oh, anything. Here, a quick test I did with me old GoPro. The GoPro's wide lens means it can see a lot at once. In fact, it even saw the trash I was sure would be out of the shot and didn't bother picking up. However, this perspective is distorted. I can tell you right now me floor is flat and does curve downwards here. As I move the GoPro closer to this totally normal shaped sex museum postcard, we can see the distortion become even more exaggerated. The beautiful pride flag is ruined. It looks like Graham Linehan has touched it. This is me holding a measuring tape just to give another reference. The curvature of the Earth is definitely susceptible to being exaggerated by wide-angle lenses, but like with big artifacts, you can't just move a slider and say, "Ah, it proves it right." It's not. Look, I'm gonna use me video editing magical skills again to show you something. There isn't like a magic fix fisheye lens button in a video editor. Whenever I've had to correct fisheye lens footage for a video, I've had to do it by using an effect that corrects distortion and then dealing in the angles manually, and this stuff is really hard to do by. And this do it really to 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 oh I you they The best technique for doing this is to find something you know is supposed to be flat and then correct until it looks flat. See, that tape turned out to be there for a reason. A clever trick. Now, I'm gonna give you 3 guesses what part of the footage flat earthers use when they are trying to correct footage to prove that the Earth is flat. Did you get it? It's hard to see, but the correction is clearly too much if you know what to look for. On the ground, certain things curve in weird directions just slightly, and at certain angles during the video, the Earth starts to look slightly concave. Our daily observations of the Earth are consistent with a flat and stationary surface. I just want to acknowledge how fucking funny it was when I was watching this documentary for the first time and it fades from a thing saying, "Our world is flat and it's a wide-angle shot that's not being corrected properly, so it looks like it's curved." It looks like the planet is concave. How do you fuck it up this bad? From this high up, the Earth's curvature would, in fact, be visible, but probably very slight. You'd have to use a ruler to make sure. But exactly how curved it would have been is hard to tell. because of the nature of the footage filmed with these lenses. You know, the reality is the Earth is flat. You can't actually see the curvature of the Earth from the window of a passenger plane. They don't go high enough to show more than, like, a degree or two, basically. You can see the curvature of the horizon, but only from high up, and I mean really high up. Not airline high, not even Mary Jane high. I'm talking humanist too high. Come on in here, Bono, the Edge, Adam, Smain. Not that humanist too silly. Hey, we have fun. I mean, of course, the Lockheed Humanist too, a high-altitude spy plane used by the U.S. government. You might remember the Humanist 4. Its operating height of 70,000 feet, almost 3 times the height of a commercial aircraft, violating international law numerous times, getting caught violating international law numerous times when it turned out it wasn't very good at spying, getting shot down over the Soviet Union in 1960, getting shot down in 1962 during the Cuban Missile Crisis and contributing to the Cold War nearly escalating into full-scale nuclear war. Luckily, the U.S. government gave up on illegally spying on other nations with a shit plane they can see in 1917. Sorry, 1918. 1980, sir. 18. Wait, hang on. They still using it. Here's James May, the least shit guy from Top Gear, taking a ride in one. You can see that at conventional airplane heights, the horizon is fairly flat. Hopefully, this early shot of the horizon looking really flat establishes that the lenses aren't distorting anything here. As he reaches the maximum height, the atmosphere stops being breathable and the sky starts to turn black. At the higher altitudes, we can finally see both the staggering beauty of our little blue world, but also a slight yet pronounced curve on the horizon. So I think it's fair to say that, in conclusion, haha, the Earth's curved slightly. I win. This has just been a brief rundown of the flat Earth points that I feel are at least more credible than the rest. They get increasingly weird and tangential from here on out. For example, almost all flat earthers say that the moon landing was faked because if we actually went to the moon and took pictures of the Earth and it showed that the Earth was a globe because it's in different positions and different in different pictures, you can't have done that. So the moon landing has to all be faked with the extra caveat that goes on top of the regular moon landing conspiracies, which is that it was all done simply to make people think the earth was round for some reason. They trying counter the fact that you can to see things on the other side of the horizon by claiming that cameras with long enough zoom lenses, like the Nikon 900, can actually show like things that should be behind the horizon, which that's not what's happening. The camera can see further than your disgusting human eyes, which I thought the point was they were the only things you could trust. But no, apparently now we resupposed to trust the globe heads at Nikon. I've pronounced that company's name both of the ways that people pronounce it now, so everyone gets to yell at me. Also, Mark Sargent has actually said this. He thinks that the moon gives off its own cold light, which makes things colder and therefore proves that the moon isn't just a rock floating in space. It's part of the big firmament that some flat earthers think. Just 1 second. Arranging this to be in the shot properly makes it actually really hard to deal. I want you to appreciate that. Hello. Hi there. Is that popular gaming YouTuber Upiznachump, who also incidentally has a master's in chemistry. Yep, this is the third time I'm recording this because it got me lines wrong the first time and then the microphone was on. Oh, excuse me. Can moonlight make things cold? No, the moon reflects light from the sun, and the intrinsic property of waves is basically all waves have energy because they have a frequency. It's just the nature of the universe. Oh, okay, cool, thanks. Great, yeah, that was easy. Bye. Wait, you don't want me to do a funny sketch or something? I can do a joke here. No, the video's looking too long already. I've decided to leave in the tangent about fighter jets, so it's probably not worth it. No, wait, don't go. I can prove mathematically that this is the correct way. This all, I feel, leads to a necessary and important question. If all of the evidence for the flat earth is so, well, easy to throw out, why do people actually believe it? Chapter 7. Why do people believe things that are obviously wrong? Because they re-stupid. Bye. Would you like to build a beautiful website easily? Good. So would I. No, 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 no. We not actually gonna do that. That would be unreasonably rude. Let's take these people a bit more seriously than that. Some of them are clearly very knowledgeable. Some of them have, like, big, important degrees in serious fields. They know way much more than I do about all kinds of actually useful things. Some of them take evidence very seriously, clearly, and they believe in the scientific method. And they not all of them. Some of them are not actually very knowledgeable about anything and seem to think Donald Trump is a genius, and also he's their guy and he secretly knows the earth is flat and he's gonna expose NASA. I suppose it would be disingenuous not to talk briefly about the really weird people. In fact, the misogyny thing in specific is really surprising. One of Mark Sargent's inner sphere, sorry, circle, Patricia Steer, gets a lot of hate from other factions of flat earthers for supposedly just being in it to be popular. Or some go even as far as to say that she's actually a secretia plant designed to make flat earth look bad and or trick people with her appearance into making them believe the wrong version of flat earth. You better wake your ass up. All of them is fucking satanic puppets. Yes, that's why they flashed this one on hand. No doubt about it. It was put there by the CIA on YouTube to distract the masses that wanna learn the truth. Yes, the earth is flat, but you can never take it from these sodomites. Of course, they go lead you the wrong direction. Wake your ass up. There go your Patricia spear right there. It is a plant by the CI 100. Frankly, even the people who like Patricia are super weird about it. I mean, Mark himself made a video just dedicated to how pretty he thinks she is, which it's fine. It's okay to find someone attractive. That's okay. But it's a bit weird to make a video about how pretty you think she is, right? Still not as bad as the people who think that she's a deep state plant designed to make flat earthism look bad, though. All the people zooming in on every picture of her face they can find in order to speculate that she's a secret trans woman. And I know what a 44-year-old female looks like. You are a 20-something. Being a woman in a conspiracy theorist movement is apparently grounds to have your body, history, goals, agenda, every single tiny thing about you speculated upon. You know, I try and jokingly make fun of people when people act weird on the internet. Like, keep it light. But honestly, this stuff is so fucking disgusting, I'm not even gonna make a joke here. Patricia's wrong about the earth being flat, but she deserves to be in a move room that's better than this shit. Come guys. To be honest, the people treating Patricia like that and the people being megaracist on flat earth Facebook pages seem to me like the real plants designed to make flat eartherism look bad. They don't make it look as bad as this guy does. Though, I'm flowing up with a song for your mom. Tell her earth's flat, her ass is the bomb. Tell her I'll be for her some. Then tell her she's fat like a Renaissance cunt. Flat earthers don't inherently disrespect women. Okay. It's just a lot of them happen to. Was I right? Fierce, fucking flat, Holocaust denied. Hitler was cool and not a bad guy. Tell me to do the control of your mind. Oh, he just couldn't wait to bring Hitler up, could he? Geez. Oh, that all make his beliefs seem credible. That belief seem credible. He seeking Oh, that's surprising. Like 2 days before this video was going to go online, that guy's channel got deleted by YouTube. I wonder why. I guess it will always remain a mystery. Chapter 9. Flat Earth fucked up my recommendations and you have to suffer with me. Oh great. I accidentally went to the shitty side of YouTube. You click on one vegan, flat earth, neo-Nazi rap, but I just had to say that phrase, but it's all true. And now my recommendations are full of the really weird people who seem a bit like they might be using flat earth as a refuge for some kind of deep existential emptiness and film themselves walking around in public asking people if they think the earth is flat in a Buffalo Wild Wings parking lot and yelling at people at a bar. You re-saying that he dips his nose down, but you don't know how. You just he dips his. You see there. I tried to have a conversation and of course, They don't like it because they start losing the argument because they can't make any real points. My favorite kind of reasonable debate. The kind where you walk up to someone in public with a camera and demand they debunk flat Earth. He seems to be following the Ben Shapiro strategy of making videos where you give it a title like okay, kick their asses with me smart boy brain, and then you actually watch it and it's them making complete ass of themselves. Thank you very much. Have a great night. You redisturbing Aguus. Okay, bye. It's going up online. 26,000 subscribers. You think you can destroy him? Well, I'll have you know. Fucking Jesus Christ. Anyway, I think this was a productive day. I think, I think, I think, I think the in the wire video, he's got a light lander shirt. I say, I lovely land. He's made lunar module or homeless tweakers shelter, and he's going around filming random people on their day off from work or at work asking them if they think the earth is flat, and they keep awkwardly nodding and saying he's right in the hopes he'll go away. Have you ever seen the earth curving? No. Me neither. You know why. It's because the earth is flat and it doesn't spin. Look into it. When you get home, go on YouTube and check out the flat earth. Oh, not Spielberg. They say it was, Stanley Kubrick. Okay, Kubrick. That was the rumor. Whatever it was is Hollywood trickery. It's so awkward, and he's so sure he's owning people and looks smart. I'm getting sympathy anxiety for the people he's talking to. It's just, no. Stop it. Well, let me ask you this. Oh God, do you think that looks more like a lunar module or a homeless tweaker shelter if you had to pick one? Is this really happening? Just if you had to pick one. Why did he choose such an unwieldy quote to use on the shirt he designed and then was going to say a lot in a video? Why is this his opening to his compass? It's such a terrible shirt. Why did he? So I'm wearing a shirt now. I am wearing a shirt, I recreated it to try and understand what the deal is, what it's going on here. And frankly, I still don't get it. It was a complete waste of time. If I ever open a merch store and you see this shirt on it, oh, it's the one shirt that I made of these. So, I'll sign or something if you want. Please do not wear it in public, though. No one will want to be your friend. So, yeah, we probably should at least acknowledge it. Some of these people believe there's a global, flat-out conspiracy to control the world and eat everyone's minds. Some of them are misogynists and some of them are really racist. It could be one of these. Oh, bloodlines in this sort of a light. Oh, it's the Rothschilds, is it? Oh, okay, that's normal. And some of them are vegan neo-Nazi rappers. But I'm sure every movement has its share of problematic people who embarrass everyone else and who they wish would go away. I can't think of any left-wing YouTubers who are like that. Oh, it's some, isn't it? Dispensing with the really sort of weird elements of the movement, the question still remains, why do people think the earth is flat if the evidence is so bad? Frankly, I'm not very good at figuring out why other people do things. I just do what Sobek commands them, and in return, he ensures that me harvest is bountiful and me sperm is never ending. So we gonna have to turn to an outside source to do all of this deep thinking stuff. Let's find out what popular talky thinky man Philosophy Tube has to say for himself, shall we? Hey Oli, I was just wondering, what do philosophers think of people who think the earth is a fly? I'll just reference the video you made a year ago. It's fine, Mr. Mark Sargent. For the rest of the scientific community, I come bearing a message. I like science. I always have. I flew here on the back of science. Oh, you flew here, did you? I wonder what model of the earth the pilot you know. Don't be mean. Don't sorry. I promised myself we wouldn't to be rude to these people. Stop it. Carry on. Stop it. You've taken what should have been simple observations and twisted them to suit your needs and make us feel small. We re not small and we re not an accident. In fact, we are the new scientists. No, Mark, don't say that. I promised it wouldn't. You can't. Oh, fuck. There's a new science in town, baby, and an inordinate amount of it is based on what logo the UN uses. Okay, so I deliberately avoided bringing up Mark Sargent's videos too much because they re not very good. I don't want to make flat earthers just look bad by pointing out how absolutely ridiculous the videos that got them into it are, and I just don't want to be mean to someone just because they re ignorant and wrong. But you know what? Fuck him. It's 8:50 p.m. on Christmas Eve. He just said he's the new fucking science. This is me present to myself. I'm gonna fucking dunk on Mark Sargent for being obviously wrong. You know that whole logistics thing I pointed out earlier. Here's how he brings it up and debunks it. Now, this is where you come in and say, well, it's probably an isolated incident or some strange connection thing. Where you guys proposition connection where's straight by the less and you said well You know how the airlanes air. Oh, no, my friends. No. Mark Sargent's video doesn't even acknowledge the existence of non-stop flights. In fact, he says they don't exist. The first part of the clue is the utter lack of non-stop flights from anywhere in this hemisphere. Flying from international cities like Sydney, Rio, Santiago, or anywhere else close by, you can't get a single non-stop flight no matter how much money you pay. So now it becomes clear why so much of flat Earth is pointless fluff or speculation about all the people who must be in on it. They have to avoid making quantifiable claims because otherwise, when you put it in terms that can be proven or disproven, there's a chance your actual reasons for believing what you believe can be openly demonstrated to be wrong. The Earth can't be a globe because there's no non-stop flights across countries in the southern hemisphere. Oh wait, someone Googled it and it turns out there were. Fucking oops. I mean to say a bunch of weird waffle about how we don't really know what gravity is, so let's ramble about that instead. What is gravity? My worldview feels so much more safe when I'm talking absolute fucking nonsense. Has everyone seen The Truman Show? Oh, and while we re-add it, Mark, it's not cute that you fucking hold your microphone on all of your podcasts like this. It makes for terrible audio. We can hear you fumbling with it constantly. Just put it on a stand. The person you've been streaming with for, like, years has a stand. Why have you not copied her thing? Why have you not copied her thing? Just use a stand. Also, it's so very clear you were wearing a clip-on mic when you came out to do this speech, and I guess you fucked it up because the audio didn't work. Okay, just pick up. I'll do this just in case. So you decided you had to use the onboard mix and then you weren't even using them right, so a guy had to come and correct you. Oh, we gonna do both. Sorry about that. Why do you have so many problems with microphones? If you just Googled how to do sound, your videos would have been like 30 more bearable. Whose video was that with the moon and the clouds? Yeah, and I don't even think that was the moon. That looked like the sun. Look at was it just us? Why are you so bad at everything, Mark? You don't. You don't. You don't. You're not even a good flat earther. I have to talk around you or it makes me look like I'm trying to make you people look stupid. And do you think you re the fucking scientist? Fucking Jesus Christ. I think what really gets him. What a wait. In his video, Flat Earth or Why Do People Reject Science, philosopher Oliver Thorne says that flat earthers don't actually reject science. See, he's being very clever with his title. It's a clever boy. Check his videos out. But they actually embracing an alternative viewpoint on science which he compares to direct realism. He's right. These people are attempting a form of science. And I think that's what really gets to me about them. Not simply that they pretending they scientists who secretly found the truth. Those people are a fucking dime a dozen. Saying that science is good and you know it and you the genius and everyone else is wrong is basically what being a YouTuber is. People like Mark are right to want to question authorities on issues. They right to want to question everything they know about reality and the society they live in. And that's because at the center of flat Earth, not the North Pole, the actual center of the ideology, its core is a tiny shining fragment of a systemic critic. It's the beginnings of trying to understand what's wrong with our society and what to do about it. You know, flat earthers and people like them who embrace alternative solutions, like eating raw meat. In fact, Jake the Ashole, flat earth boy, yell at people, man, eats raw meat a bunch. It's disgusting. I almost threw up watching one of his videos. People seek these solutions because they perceive, on some level, a problem. And they rewrite. Something is wrong with the world right now. The world is figuratively on fire. World leaders are asleep at the wheel. There's nothing in place to prevent another massive financial crash which will destroy thousands, if not millions, of livelihoods. And ecologically speaking, on top of being, you know, figuratively on fire, the earth is literally on fire. Wildfires are getting worse. Temperatures are shifting all over the place. Ice is melting at an astounding rate. Even on a globe Earth, the edge is coming fast. So I can't blame anyone for feeling alienated and lonely about living in, you know, late capitalist society. You know, at least under feudalism, we had job security. So, of course, people are going to try and find something that helps them cope or seems like a solution. People somehow are good. How do you see you? How do you make a work? I mean, that's why you get cults. That's why you get Scientology. That's why you get Jordan Peterson supporters. You know, something is wrong, and we can all tell. And some people have arrived at a solution that doesn't really work or, at the very least, makes them feel a little bit better. Some people feel really good, like they really owning the Marxists by not eating their vegetables until they get scurvy. And then that's where the problems begin, isn't it? Because believing these things isn't a solution, and it's not really accurate about what the problems are. The problem isn't NASA. The problem is the Earth being flat. The problem is something else. If you a flat earther and you made it all the way to the end of this video, whoa, this video was way too long, but I watched fucking dozens of hours of your documentaries, so I guess you owe me. But if I can give a little word of advice, you right to feel that something is wrong, because something is wrong. Just maybe keep looking for the source of what that thing is, because the Earth is not flat. The Earth is an oblate spheroid. I heard one guy say oblate once, and that was it. I just now say it every time. Just keep looking. Keep trying to figure out a solution. To figure out and maybe next Christmas, Mark Sargent will be Mark's Sargent. Mark Sargent will be sensed. It's a good one. Oh God, my hair looks awful. And see you all next year. I'm gonna do more videos next year. I promise. And I'm gonna do that charity stream soon. Charity I'm gonna play Donkey Kong 64 all the way through until he fucking D. I'll raise money for a charity. I forgot which one it is. And I don't want to do another take because it's a bloody freezing in here. I put this on for a reason. This used to light up, but it doesn't. Excuse me. Can moonlight make things cold? I feel like I'm actually being rude to a person by doing this. I am really sorry.